I think running up till 2013, there wasn't a real understanding of the true value of the industry. There was the fairly good understanding of the value in respect of outdoor, because there were some good measures through ADEX and the likes. But the big gaps in the industry were measures around sponsorship, retail in-store, the transit nodes, building wraps, etc., etc. So quite a few of the specialists in the industry weren't reporting into ADEX. So we're seeing an under-measurement by a large degree. Gordon Miller was then commissioned by Primedia Unlimited and Primedia Outdoor, and he conducted a really great study, which he then published in a book called Advertising in the Out-of-Home Zone. And what he did is he found those gaps, and he pulled them all together and gave us a good sense of what the next real look at the industry's value was. Out of home has always been reported in ADEX X, the 16.5% agency comp. So immediately there's a big swing up if you take that into account. But then if you move outside of the realm of the companies that were reporting into those that weren't, and you bring their value into the pot, immediately see this sort of almost tenfold kind of growth in that space. And then if you look at, there were only 6 traditional categories that were measured and reported in ADEX as well. You start looking beyond that, and you're looking at all the platforms in the out-of-home world, which is ambient, activations, experiential, sports sponsorship, and some of the others I mentioned earlier. Suddenly it's moving from about 1.59, 1.6 billion of total share of voice to in excess of 4 billion of total share of voice. So you're seeing an industry that's been reported as previously about 4.7% of total share of voice, jumping to probably 11.5 to 11.8%. So suddenly we've got a really great pot of money to play with, which means that brand owners and advertisers are spending in the medium. So it must have some relevance, the fact that we're seeing that kind of money in place. So that's always a good starting point. The challenge, though, is digital is fairly slow to take up in this country. It's an expensive medium. We are seeing some great digital roadside platforms being rolled out. Again, Primedia Outdoor doing some great stuff. Continental Outdoor doing some phenomenal stuff with their Ignite platform. So the more we see the migration into the digital space, the more we're going to have the chance for measurability. And that's not just about the amount of flightings that the particular campaigns are having, but it's about using the messaging slightly differently and getting some stronger call to actions and bringing a more dynamic conversation to consumers and travelers who are caught in traffic viewing these panels each day. So that's one aspect that definitely will help. The other is the use of technology. I don't think enough is being made of that in this country, where you're not seeing enough strong call to action to drive you to Mobi sites, to lead you to the next piece of integration and technology, where you're sitting in traffic, whether it's a short code, whether it's a really strong reference to www, whatever the campaign mechanic may be, and the ability to drive different campaign linkages in different provinces to see the take-up and response mechanics and where the hotspots are, whether it's a regional hotspot, whether it's a provincial reference or preference to a particular product or campaign. We're not seeing enough of that. And introducing more of those mechanics will immediately allow you to see what kind of click-through rate there is. And there's an opportunity to put some reward in place as well. So more and more people clicking through, driving into social media, carrying the next level on to broadcasting and sharing that, and rewarding people for that, pushing it on to 10 other people, getting an e-voucher, driving you into the retail environment, driving you to the store where the product is on display, and enabling you to engage and experience it and get some kind of benefit from it. So there's still a long way to go there. That said, going back to the traditional outdoor arena, great strides have been made, and there's a big investment that's been put on the table by both Primedia Outdoor and Continental Outdoor as well. They've invested in the millions with an international organization and a study that is going to look at every single one of the traditional platforms in South Africa being brought onto a digital platform. All the media owners in the country, and we've got a list in excess of 168 outdoor media owners currently operating in this country. Guys who are operating with 1 or 2 boards on their own properties, to guys like Continental who have got the lion's share of the country. They'll be able to upload the inventory. What this particular platform will do is it'll geolocate, it'll rate the panels, it'll establish whether it's driver's left, driver's right, front on, side on, what the angle of view is, what the time is that you have in the speed of traffic, in the location. Are you on a national motorway? Are you in a peri-urban environment? Are you in a rural road? What your speed of traffic is, how long your dwell time is in front of that panel, and you get a rating factor that comes into play. So the media agencies will be able to use this live dynamic platform to actually strategize and select their panels and their medium correctly with a lot more accuracy, and that in turn will allow a much closer measurability aspect that brands are looking for.